What's up, Wolverine Nation? It's your boy TJ Ronin. You can find me at TJ_Ronin on the socials. And Big Dusty, aka Dusty May, does it again, landing the 5-star out of Michigan, former Gatorade Player of the Year, Trey McKenney, the combo guard, the 6'4", 225 combo guard, ranked number 19 in the nation. And this is insane. This is very good size for a guard. 6'4", 225 coming out of high school. Obviously, he still has, the rest of this year to go, and then we should see him next season. But Dusty cleaned up here. I mean, this is a major get. This also is a major indicator of the change of philosophy, not only with Michigan as a whole in terms of recruiting, but the basketball program, and Dusty May putting in work on the back end of everything with donors and NIL. So shout out to Dusty. Shout out to the boys. Hell of a get here. We're going to get into his player profile, his highlights, and take a look at how the class looks for 2025. Let's get to it. Shout out to Trey McKenney, by the way. Go Blue. Welcome to Wolverine Nation. We got Adam Finkelstein here. McKenney is a big-bodied scoring guard, unique backcourt matchup because of his very broad frame and massive 6'9" wingspan. He plays with an aggressive scoring ability, a scoring mentality, and has an advanced understanding of how to leverage his body type within his attack. He's powerful, physical, and crafty, has a great left hand, and is also very adept at scoring over top of contested defenders in mid-range area. While McKenney can have high volume approach, settle for too many tough twos, and be turnover prone at times, he's actually an underrated initiator when he's allowed to play with the ball in his hands. He has clear potential playing out of ball screens and some instinctive feel for the game to match his sheer power. McKenney is an excellent free throw percent shooter at 92%, and that is elite, by the way. And for all my basketball aficionados out there, we all know your free throw percentage is one of the it really is one of the highest indicators of shooting success through your career. So that's a great sign. He's already at 92% in high school. That means he has excellent form, and he has the mental capacity, or not capacity, but fortitude to be strong at the line, because a lot of people, for those, free throw shooting is mental as much as it is fundamental, but doesn't get there quite enough to take full advantage, especially given his body type. His shooting stroke isn't quite as natural from long range, but he's shown some clear progress and made 36%, just under 6 attempts per game in the EYBL. And that's 36% is actually pretty solid, especially, a player of his age. And when he gets into Dusty's development, especially at 92% free throw shooter, this kid will be a shooter. And you'll see this in his highlights. His shooting, he has a shooting ability. He has a nice touch. He just has some fundamentals where he probably needs to clean up and become more consistent with his shot. Defensively, he's typically willing to compete, but sometimes limited by a lack of lateral quickness. That foot speed is going to be tied to continue to make strides with his conditioning, I'll bet without shrinking his frame too much, since that is such a critical part of his identity. McKenney is also an excellent rebounding guard. Yeah, and what's beautiful about McKenney here, guys, is we have a combo guard. And as we know, we're getting more and more familiar with Dusty May, but Dusty May likes to have multiple ball handlers on the floor, multiple guards on the floor. And Trey McKenney really does fit exactly what Dusty May is looking for. And let's get into his highlight tape right here. I got his first one here. We'll take a look at Trey McKenney. And he really does like to play the mid-range game. And you can see in his shot, like his confidence with backing down a defender, his one-on-one ability. And we'll get into, let's do some intro here. We'll get through. You'll see this kid, and there's Mr. Tom Izzo. Take that, Tom Izzo, little brother. Take that L. But you could just see his ability to create his own. He's a player that can create his own shot. He has the ability to distribute, and you could see, he'll size up his defender, and he'll find the spot. He will take what the defender gives him. If he can drive to the lane, he will. If he needs to spot up, he will. If he needs to do a step back, he will. That's one of the qualities of Trey McKenney, is he has the versatility to score from anywhere on the floor, right? So it's an exciting get for our offense, for our team, and you're seeing a multitude of, just skill sets to his game. He has vision. He had just the footwork. I mean, just look at the foot. Let's go back. Look at his footwork here, right? You got the pivot goes back. You see his footwork in action in the high school level. He's obviously a 5-star for a reason. Obviously ranked number 19 in the nation. Very excited to have him a part of this class and see what Dusty can do with a player of McKenney's caliber, because one thing I think we need to really think about, when Dusty May was at FAU, he was not getting this caliber of player. And you're already starting to see what he's doing with players at Michigan now. You're starting to see the confidence level with, if anyone watched the game with Cleveland State, the confidence level of the players and their skill level uh, really transitioning to the floor. And here we'll get more, we'll get a larger sample size here of Trey McKenney and what he brings to the table. And shout out to UofMHoops.com for making this video for us to use. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you. Um, you know, it, and obviously, this is him pushing in transition, finding his guy, being a playmaker, not just a scorer, right? This is his combo guard ability. He can score, he can pass, his head's up. He's looking for the play, right? He's allowing, if you watch his highlights, you will see he allows the play to come to him. He's not forcing anything. The defender wants to back up, he'll spot up. If the defender wants to give him the lane, he'll take the lane. If he needs to pass it, he will. Whatever the defense is allowing him, it's just a high IQ player who has a good feel for the game, that is able to take advantage of what the defense gives him at all times. You see his head up, he's looking for his teammates. Okay, the teammates are not there, I'm driving it. It's just it's a really strong ability from a really strong player, and I'm excited to see what he could do under Dusty May's development and teaching. And when we look at the class here, guys, which we're going to get into here in just a moment, but when you look at the class that Dusty May is building, you're starting to see a common theme. And what it is it's scorers, it's playmakers, it's shooters, as well as players who are multifaceted in multi areas. And look at that. I mean, guys, the footwork on this. I mean, look at the footwork on this. He has the plant foot fade away. I mean, it's just, and it's wet, dude. Like, the shot is legit. And the fact that he's a 92% free throw shooter, the shot's only going to get cleaner and more consistent. So very excited about the Trey McKenney addition. I love that he's a pull-up, he's a pull-up shooter. He can spot it up. He's willing to take it. Like, he's one thing that I really appreciate about his game, and then we'll look at the class here, is he's not just a driver and a shooter. He does have some mid-range to his game. He's not limiting his tool set, right? So a very strong player. There's a reason why he's ranked number 19 in the nation. They are projecting him to be a first-round pick. Is he a one and done? To be determined. He may, you never know. You never know with some of these kids. Sometimes they need a year. Sometimes they need 2 years. We'll find out. Under Dusty, it's a new era. Excited to see what he brings to the table. Let's take a look at the class that Dusty May is assembling. Currently ranked 69 in the nation. That's intentional. We got Winters Grady at small forward, and we got Oscar Goodman, who's more of a, he can be a stretch four. He could play the three. With Dusty May, he does do a little bit of positionless basketball to an extent where he does have multiple guys playing multiple positions, small lineups, big lineups, multiple shooters. But I'm a big fan. I really like Winters Grady a lot, and Oscar Goodman, I think, is a very strong player for Dusty May's system. And the reason why he's not ranked by 247, guys, is because 247 does not rank international players until they are committed. I believe it's till they're committed. Maybe it's when they sign. It's something along those lines. They have a unique thing, but On3 does have Oscar Goodman ranked, I believe, in the 90s. So he is a top 100 player by On3. And from my understanding, 247 is also going to put him in the top 100. So this is going to be 3 top 100 players, 3 blue chip players, 1 5-star, 2 4-stars. And from my understanding, the class is not done. They're still looking to add another big man to this class. We'll see what Dusty does. Never count Dusty out, because he really is turning this program around. We're already seeing it. We are already seeing it, on the floor, on the court. If anyone watched that first game, you can see there's a different culture. There's a different mentality with this basketball program, and it's something we can be excited about. And Dusty May has literally put life back into Michigan basketball, which is really, and the recruiting, and it's good to see. So shout out to Dusty, shout out to everybody in terms of the collectives and the entire athletic department for getting this program back on track and landing the best players in Michigan, because we all know the best players in Michigan play for Michigan. End of story. So that's it for me today, guys. Give me a follow on the socials. We'll be here for the post-game show, Indiana post-game show today. Check us out. We got the Tuesday live show at 8 p.m. with me and John D'Adamo. And then Thursday, we got the call-in show where it's your show. You guys call in. We talk ball, whether it be football, basketball, recruiting, whatever it is. We're here for it. So shout out to you guys. Appreciate the community. And as you guys know, it is always go blue.